Okay, so Sherry says if a man wants to play the field, he shouldn't care if a woman does the same. My concern is STDs and potential unwanted pregnancy. Trying to manage all that and still being completely intimately satisfied, such as in a deep committed relationship, is not going to be worth the stress, in my opinion. Welcome to Mr. King's Takes. Let's break it down, Sherry. Look, first of all, while I do acknowledge that a lot of people get territorial in romantic dynamics, here's what you need to know. Men who tend to run rotations and have situationships usually don't mind what women want to do with themselves when they're not around. They really don't mind if women want to move in the same way. Here's the thing, unless she's actively trying to lock him down, he doesn't have a real reason to care beyond the situationship level. Understood? But this whole idea that women can move the same as men, it's a little bit ludicrous. And some women seem to take it as a feminist or empowered equality flex. But really and truly, it's not. Because let's break down the math. Check this out. If you're in a relationship, that means one man is making a big investment and also hopefully getting a big reward of the experience of you as a woman. But when you're in a situationship, that means one man is getting the big benefit of you for a small investment. Minimal investment, maximal reward, right? So as a lady, if you think, well, he's getting a lot for nothing, why don't I move the same way as a woman? Well, guess what? In a situationship, one man gets you for a premium by giving you a small investment. If you move in the same way, now multiple men are getting a lot of you for a small investment. How exactly is that a win for a lady? Please just make that make sense to me. Hashtag the men are still winning. About the concern with STDs, while that's a fair concern, really and truly, we are adults. And if you're old enough to be active in the bedroom, you should be mature enough to be intimately responsible. Testing exists, protection forms exist, and contraception forms exist. This really isn't a gender issue. It's more of an adult one. About the issue of unwanted pregnancy, look, I acknowledge it takes two to tango, but really and truly, the implications and the responsibility of pregnancy is actually obligate on a woman. Why is that? Because it happens in your body. Yes, it takes the man to release, but really and truly, it happens in your body. Why? Because it cooks in your body. You have to birth it, and once it's out, it depends primarily on you as its primary caregiver. The implications of it is obligate for you. Whereas men have always been able to seduce, release, and abandon the woman. All through history, men have been able to do that. I'm not saying it makes it okay, but men have had the luxury of being able to seduce, release, and abandon. Whereas the implications of pregnancy have always been obligate on a woman because you can't run from it if you don't get rid of it. Understood? This is why evolution made women the gender that is pickier. Why? Because the risks and the cost of intimacy has always been heavier and higher on you. So, if you're going to engage in the arena, as the party that is more likely to get pregnant, it is actually more on you to ensure that you take the precautions that ensure that you don't. With great power comes great responsibility. I didn't make the rules. Have a chat with Mother Nature. At the end of the day, we can sit here and argue about fairness all day, but Mother Nature and biology does not care about our feelings. So if the outcome is going to live in your body and end up depending primarily on you, then the ultimate decision and power over whether or not you get pregnant also rests on you. No shade, just facts. About the idea that running rotations forward slash situationships is going to be stress, the truth is it actually is not stress. Or it depends on the guy. Because the reality is you only have to run a number that you can manage without overwhelming yourself. That's all it comes down to. The truth is men are more biologically hardwired for variety in a way that's more intense than the degree to which women are wired for that same thing. Right? So really and truly, we're kind of built to do it really. But again, it doesn't make it noble, it's just different. So, take it from a guy who has actually lived that baby boy lifestyle before, that running rotations lifestyle. Really and truly, it's not hard to manage. One, you only keep a number that you can manage in a stress free way based on how much free time you have. Number two, you keep it minimal investment for each one, and that investment focuses mainly on flirty banter occasionally focusing on logistics for experiences, and finally dropping off the D. It really is that simple. You dig? Major key alert. This video is not to advocate for men to go around sleeping around, running rotations, or a bunch of situationships. That's not what this is about. This simply explains why many men are choosing that because it appears to be the smartest deal in the current dating marketplace. And number two, also to explain exactly why when we run the equality idea in the SEXUAL marketplace, oftentimes it backfires on women. Because even though men and women are equal, really and truly, we're not the same. And when we move the same in the dating marketplace, oftentimes most women get hurt. So, as a lady, if you got this far in the video, if it stung a little bit, that's probably because it's hitting on a truth that you probably haven't faced fully yet. But hey, if you're bold and human enough to engage, pop it in the comment section respectfully and let's have a chat. Peace.